How do 15,000 gallons of milk turn into butter? Why was it once as valuable as gold? And why do modern artists sculpt masterpieces from it? This process isn't just physics, it's pure magic. Magic that transforms everyday essentials into something indispensable. Ready for a journey that'll change how you see butter forever? Let's dive in. So, our story begins with cows. Picture this: farmers milking cows, and that fresh milk heads to the factory in specialized tanker trucks. One tanker can hold about 15,000 gallons of milk. These trucks are airtight and refrigerated to keep the milk fresh during the journey. Fun fact: demand for organic butter has risen by 13% in the last 5 years, as consumers lean towards eco-friendly options. It takes about 19 to 24 quarts of milk to make just 2 pounds of butter. The most expensive butter in the world? It's made from Yakutian cow milk and costs over $200 per kilogram. Surprising, right? Every country has its own butter-making traditions. For example, in Tibet, they use yak milk to make butter, not just for food but also for temple lamps. Now, when the milk arrives at the factory, the first thing it goes through is quality control. It's tested for fat content, protein levels, cleanliness, and even the absence of antibiotics. If everything checks out, it's poured into massive stainless steel tanks where it waits for processing. And now for the magic. Well, technically, it's physics, but let's be honest, it looks magical. The milk is loaded into a separator, a machine spinning at mind-blowing speeds. Think of it as a giant centrifuge that spins the milk to separate the lighter cream from the denser skim milk. In the end, you get two products: cream and skim milk. The cream, that's what we need for butter. And the skim milk? It's used to make other products like yogurt or cheese. Butter was first mentioned over 4,000 years ago in Sumerian cuneiform texts. Back then, it wasn't eaten. It was used as a skin ointment or even in religious rituals. In fact, butter is also mentioned in the Bible. In the book of Genesis, Abraham serves his guests butter from the herd. For the Vikings, butter was so precious they used it as currency. They stored it in huge wooden barrels, and it was even considered a status symbol. Makes you wonder how they kept it from spoiling, right? Fast forward to today, the United States produces about 2 million tons of butter annually, making it one of the largest butter producers in the world. States like California, Wisconsin, and Idaho lead the way with massive dairy farms. The cream is heated in special pasteurizers, like a heat tunnel, where it's quickly brought to 160 degrees Fahrenheit and then cooled again. Why? To kill harmful bacteria while preserving the taste and nutrients. Once cooled, the cream moves to the next stage, the exciting part. Here's where the real action starts. Special machines begin churning the cream. Imagine a giant mixer. At first, the cream thickens, resembling whipped cream used in desserts. Before the 18th century, butter was churned manually using wooden barrels or clay pots. Mechanized churners didn't appear until the 1870s, making butter production much easier. As the churning continues, the fat clumps into small balls, forming butter. The liquid that separates during this process is buttermilk. And no, it's not wasted. It's used in baking or even as a drink. The butter starts to look familiar, but is still just a clump of fats. We're about to change that. Now the butter goes into special machines that knead it. This step makes the butter smooth and creamy. At this point, salt may be added to make salted butter. Fun fact: salted butter lasts longer because the salt acts as a natural preservative. In the US, people consume about 4.5 billion pounds of butter annually. During World War II, butter was in such short supply that margarine and substitutes became popular. But after the war, butter made a comeback thanks to its natural taste. Today, butter sales in the US amount to about $3.7 billion, and this market is expected to keep growing. Finally, the home stretch. The butter is cooled to the right temperature and sent to molding machines. These machines give it the perfect shape, just like the bricks you see in stores. Everything's automated from here. A robot picks up the butter brick, wraps it in foil or paper, and places it on the conveyor belt. Each pack goes through one last quality check to ensure perfection. The finished butter is stored in massive refrigerators, waiting for its journey to supermarkets and eventually to your fridge. The US doesn't just produce butter, it exports it too. This year alone, over 46,000 tons of butter were shipped to countries like Mexico, Canada, and Japan. Butter sales peak during the fall and winter holidays. Think Thanksgiving and Christmas, when everyone's baking. During the holiday season, Americans buy about 25% of the entire year's butter supply. In the restaurant industry, butter is indispensable. Restaurants across the US use over 500,000 tons of butter annually. Chains like Starbucks, Panera Bread, and McDonald's rely on butter for their baked goods and dishes. These numbers prove that butter remains a staple in American cuisine, despite the rise of alternatives. The largest butter sculpture in the world? It was made in the US at a festival in Illinois in 2017. It weighed over 2,006 pounds and was used to create a detailed sculpture. That year, the festival theme was farming, so the sculpture depicted a farm scene: cows, farmers, and even farming equipment. Isn't that wasteful, you might think? Not at all. Sculptors use butter that's no longer fit for consumption to avoid food waste. Butter has the perfect texture and density for sculpting. Artists work in refrigerated rooms, kept at 40 degrees Fahrenheit, to prevent the butter from melting. They start with a metal frame for support, then layer the butter and shape it using tools like knives and spatulas. To make the sculptures realistic, they even add tiny details like animal fur or folds in clothing. These sculptures don't last long. After the festival, the butter is either recycled or sent to biogas plants, where it's turned into clean energy. This way, butter art gets a second life, contributing to sustainability. And Illinois isn't alone. Similar butter sculptures are featured at festivals in Iowa, Ohio, and other states. Butter, it's not just food, it's art. A medium for creativity and a true reflection of talent. Do you think mayonnaise is just a simple mix of oil and eggs? What if I told you it can polish furniture and elevate your culinary creations to new heights? Today, I'll reveal the secrets behind making America's favorite mayonnaise at the Hellmann's factory and share tips that will blow your mind. Don't miss out. At this factory, thousands of pounds of mayonnaise are produced every day. But the journey to creating this popular sauce starts long before the ingredients even reach the facility. The quality of the final product is directly tied to the raw materials, which is why suppliers are carefully selected. The key components of mayonnaise are vegetable oil, egg yolks, vinegar or lemon juice, and seasonings like salt and mustard. Each of these ingredients plays a crucial role in achieving the perfect taste and texture. The first step in production is sourcing and preparing the ingredients. I watched as vegetable oil was pumped from massive storage tanks into the production area using powerful pumps. Before it's used, the oil goes through additional filtration to remove any potential impurities that may have gotten in during storage. At the same time, pasteurized egg yolks are taken out of the refrigeration units and gradually brought to room temperature. This step ensures they mix more easily with the other ingredients. Vinegar or lemon juice is carefully measured and mixed with water in the correct proportions to achieve the desired level of acidity. This mixture is then combined with salt, mustard powder, and other spices in a special tank for pre-mixing. Everything is thoroughly blended to ensure the dry ingredients are evenly distributed and completely dissolved. When all the components are ready, it's time for the magic to happen: emulsification. Emulsification is the process of combining two liquids that normally don't mix, like oil and water. This is where egg yolk proteins come in as natural emulsifiers. I was amazed by the enormous industrial blenders, known as homogenizers, used for this process. These machines are equipped with powerful mixers and temperature control systems. The process starts with loading the egg yolks into the blender, where the mixers begin spinning at an incredible speed. Then, the vinegar and spice mixture is gradually added. Once the yolks and vinegar are fully combined, the most crucial step begins: slowly adding the oil. The oil is added very slowly, in a thin stream or sprayed, while the mixers continue operating at high speed. This allows the egg yolk proteins to effectively coat the tiny droplets of oil, creating a stable emulsion. This is how the creamy smoothness we all know and love in mayonnaise is achieved. Temperature control during this process is crucial. The temperature is maintained between 68 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit using special cooling systems built into the homogenizers. Once the emulsion is ready, the mayonnaise undergoes an additional mixing stage to ensure uniformity. The mixture is pushed through tiny openings under high pressure, further reducing the size of the oil particles and enhancing the product's consistency. Next, the mayonnaise moves to real-time quality control. Automated systems take samples from the product stream and run quick tests to check for consistency, acidity levels, and appearance. This ensures that the mayonnaise meets all required standards before moving on to the next stage. After passing quality control, the mayonnaise is pumped into temporary stainless steel tanks. At this stage, additional ingredients can be added to create different variations of mayonnaise, like herbs, spices, or other flavorings. Before packaging, the mayonnaise goes through a process to remove any trapped air. Air pockets can not only affect the appearance of the product, but also speed up spoilage due to oxidation. To prevent this, the mayonnaise is placed in special vacuum chambers where all the air is gently removed from the product. Now we move on to the packaging stage, which is equally impressive in terms of technology. The factory is equipped with state-of-the-art packaging machines capable of handling various types of containers, ranging from small glass jars to plastic bottles and large containers for food service establishments. Before filling, each container undergoes thorough cleaning and sterilization. Glass jars are rinsed with hot water and dried with purified air, while plastic containers, which arrive pre-sterilized, are inspected and blown with filtered air to remove any dust particles. The mayonnaise is carefully pumped from the temporary tanks into the packaging machines. The filling process is highly precise to ensure each container receives the exact same amount of product. To prevent air bubbles from forming, the nozzle is slightly submerged in the mayonnaise and rises as the container fills. Once filled, the containers are sealed airtight. For jars and plastic containers, this involves securing lids with precise torque control to guarantee a perfect seal without damaging the container. For soft packaging, heat or ultrasonic sealing is used to ensure a secure closure. The containers are then moved to the labeling stage. Automated machines carefully apply the labels, ensuring precise alignment and no defects. Afterward, each container undergoes a final visual quality check, using high-speed cameras and machine vision systems. This ensures that the product fully meets standards before being sent to the warehouse for further shipping. During my visit to the factory, I also learned a lot of interesting things about the history of mayonnaise. It turns out that its origins date back to the 18th century. According to one popular story, in 1756, during the 7 Years' War, after defeating the British in Port Mahon on the island of Minorca, the chef of the Duke of Richelieu created a sauce made from eggs and oil to celebrate the victory. The sauce was named Mahonnaise, after the city of Mahon. Other sources claim that the sauce already existed in French cuisine and derived from the Old French word moyeu, meaning egg yolk. Either way, mayonnaise quickly gained popularity in France and then throughout Europe. In the early 20th century, with the rise of industrialization, mayonnaise began to be produced on a large scale, making it accessible to the masses and helping to spread it around the world. Now, I'd like to share a few fascinating facts about mayonnaise that really surprised me. Did you know that in Japan, mayonnaise is considered a true delicacy? The Japanese use it not only in salads but also in unexpected dishes like pizza, sushi, and even ice cream. Japanese mayonnaise, such as the popular brand Kewpie, has a richer flavor thanks to the use of rice vinegar and extra egg yolks. Mayonnaise isn't just for food. It can be a helpful household item too. It's used to remove sticker or label residue, polish wooden furniture, and even as a moisturizing hair mask. Thanks to its oil and egg white content, mayonnaise nourishes and hydrates hair. In some countries, mayonnaise is preferred over ketchup as a dipping sauce for French fries. For instance, in Belgium and the Netherlands, fries are traditionally served with mayonnaise, and this is considered a classic pairing. Mayonnaise can also improve your baking. Adding it to cake or cupcake batter makes the final product more moist and tender. This is because mayonnaise contains oil and eggs, which enhance the texture of the dough. The largest Olivier salad ever made used a massive amount of mayonnaise. In 2012, a team of chefs in Moscow set a world record by preparing a salad weighing over 4,000 pounds. They used more than a ton of mayonnaise to achieve this. After visiting the Hellmann's factory, I gained a new appreciation for this everyday sauce. From its meticulous production process to its rich history and surprising uses, mayonnaise is far more interesting than it might seem at first glance. So, the next time you spread it on your sandwich, take a moment to think about the craftsmanship behind each jar. Have you ever wondered why you can enjoy fresh strawberries even when they're out of season? It's not just luck. It's the result of complex processes and technologies that remain hidden from the consumer's view. Today, I'll take you behind the scenes of modern factories where fruits are frozen, dried, and canned, ensuring you always have access to a healthy snack. Buckle up, it's going to be fascinating. Strawberries intended for freezing are usually harvested at the peak of ripeness, when they're at their sweetest and juiciest. Why strawberries, you ask? Because they're the most popular frozen berry in the United States. The country grows an impressive 1.5 million tons of them each year. The US is one of the world's largest strawberry producers, with California leading the way, accounting for over 90% of the nation's total output. Harvesting typically takes place early in the morning, while the berries are still cool and less prone to damage. On large farms, specialized harvesting machines are often used to carefully cut the strawberries. However, for processing, a significant amount of strawberries are still picked by hand. That's because machines can't always handle delicate fruits without causing damage. Handpicking is more precise, allowing workers to select only the perfectly ripe berries that are ideal for freezing or further processing. Once harvested, the strawberries are sent to the factory. First, the strawberries are sorted to remove leaves, stems, and any damaged berries. Next, they're placed in specialized washing tanks. The berries are either submerged in large containers of clean water or, more commonly, rinsed with powerful streams of water to wash away dust, dirt, and any residual chemicals. Occasionally, weak solutions, such as those containing hydrogen peroxide or organic acids, are used to help eliminate bacteria and reduce the risk of spoilage. These solutions are completely safe and leave no harmful residue. After the antiseptic treatment, the strawberries are rinsed again with clean water to remove any remaining solution. They are then dried to remove excess moisture, either by using fans or simply by draining off the water. According to statistics, the average American consumes about 7 to 9 pounds of strawberries per year. Personally, though, I go through that much in a month. How about you? Freezing is the most critical step, as it determines whether the berries will retain their flavor, texture, and nutritional value. Typically, the method used is flash freezing. Strawberries are laid out in a single layer on conveyor belts and pass through rapid freezing tunnels. These tunnels maintain a temperature of around -104 degrees Fahrenheit or even lower. This process causes the water inside the berries to freeze instantly, forming extremely small ice crystals that do not damage the fruit's cells. To ensure each strawberry stays intact and doesn't stick to the others, the conveyor vibrates continuously. This method preserves the strawberry structure and minimizes juice loss during thawing. Compared to slow freezing, which forms larger ice crystals, flash freezing delivers the highest product quality. About 30% of strawberries in the United States are frozen for use in products consumed year-round. This practice is popular for both export and domestic use. A major advantage is that frozen strawberries can be stored for up to 12 months without losing their taste or nutritional benefits. Drying strawberries has become an increasingly popular method of preservation. Dried strawberries are enjoyed as a healthy snack and are often added to oatmeal, yogurt, baked goods, granola, and trail mixes. Another trendy option is strawberry chips, which have a light, crisp texture while retaining their vibrant flavor. Strawberries can be dried whole or sliced into thin pieces, which dry faster and make perfect chips. Sliced strawberries are convenient for quick snacking, while whole berries are better suited for use in recipes. The drying process involves placing the strawberries in specialized chambers, where warm air circulates to gradually evaporate the moisture. This slow drying helps preserve their aroma and flavor. Another method involves freeze drying, where frozen strawberries are placed in a vacuum chamber. Under low pressure, the water in the berries sublimates, turning directly from ice to vapor. This results in lightweight, crispy, freeze-dried strawberries that retain their color, shape, and nearly all their nutrients. Though freeze-drying is one of the most expensive methods, it offers the highest quality. I have to admit, after this journey, I couldn't resist buying a home dehydrator to make my own strawberry chips and more. So, while editing this video, I've got a bowl of crunchy, nutritious dried strawberries right next to me. The perfect healthy snack. They're great for on-the-go munching or packing in kids' lunchboxes. To make strawberry jam, ripe, juicy berries are used to ensure the jam is flavorful and rich. After washing, the green tops and calyxes are removed, with care taken to preserve the shape of the berries. This is done either by hand or with specialized tools to minimize the loss of pulp. In production, the strawberries are processed to achieve the desired consistency. This could range from a light chopping into pieces to a more thorough blending for a smooth, uniform jam. This step is carried out quickly using specialized cutters or presses. The strawberries are then typically mixed with sugar and pectin in large industrial mixers. Pectin is almost always added, as it ensures a stable jam texture and helps control thickness, which is crucial for large-scale production. To balance the acidity, citric acid or natural juice concentrate is also added. The prepared mixture is heated in large cooking kettles with precise temperature and time controls. As the strawberries cook, the mixture gradually thickens and the jam develops its desired texture. The high temperature also helps eliminate any potential microorganisms. Once the jam is ready, it's tested for consistency, color, flavor, and aroma. Automated devices are used at this stage to measure density and sugar levels, ensuring the product meets quality standards. The finished jam is then automatically poured into sterile jars or containers, which are sealed airtight to preserve freshness. The process of making strawberry puree is equally fascinating. The prepared berries are placed in grinders, where they are processed into a liquid state. This is achieved using specialized mills or blenders that quickly break down the fruit into a smooth, uniform texture. The pureed mixture is then passed through special sieves or filters to remove seeds and small bits of skin, ensuring a silky smooth puree if a very fine consistency is desired. This step is crucial for producing a product suitable for baby food, desserts, or yogurts, where a soft texture is important. To extend its shelf life, the strawberry puree undergoes pasteurization, a process in which it is heated to a specific temperature that destroys harmful microorganisms while preserving the fruit's flavor and color. Pasteurization typically takes place in tubular heaters or specialized cooking systems. In some cases, especially when the puree is intended for industrial use, such as in confectionery or for making semi-finished products, it may be frozen. To produce juice, strawberries are first processed into puree using industrial blenders or mills. This step creates a mass from which juice can be more easily extracted. The strawberry puree is then sent to specialized hydraulic or belt presses, which separate the juice from the pulp. This method ensures maximum juice yield, leaving minimal residue such as skin and seeds. The extracted juice is filtered to remove solid particles, resulting in a smooth, uniform liquid. To extend its shelf life, the strawberry juice undergoes pasteurization, a process that involves rapid heating, followed by cooling. The finished juice is then poured into sterile bottles or cartons, sealed tightly, and stored for later use. The same processing principles apply to other fruits and berries. When it comes to nutritional benefits, freezing preserves most vitamins, including vitamin C and antioxidants. Additionally, like fresh berries, frozen strawberries are low in calories, making them an excellent dessert option for athletes and those focused on healthy eating. What's your favorite fruit or berry? Let me know, and maybe my next video will feature it. Do you know how many servings of instant ramen are consumed worldwide each year? Over 100 billion, and in the United States alone, up to 5 billion. In this video, I'll show you how simple dough is transformed into noodles that save students and office workers from hunger in just 3 minutes. We'll talk about the different types of noodles, the production process, and how all those amazing flavors are added. And of course, we'll dive into what it means to get invited out for ramen in various Asian countries. The production of instant ramen, yes, that iconic quick cooking noodle, is a highly technological process involving specialized machines for mixing, shaping the noodles, quick cooking, and packaging. I've seen how noodles begin their journey, starting with dough preparation. The base for these noodles consists of flour, water, salt, and an alkaline solution called kansui, which gives ramen its signature springy texture and yellowish hue. The type of flour used in instant ramen is crucial. High gluten flour, typically made from hard wheat, is the standard. The high gluten content ensures the dough is elastic and strong, which is essential for the noodle's texture. Sometimes, the flour is further treated or blended with small amounts of potato or cornstarch to enhance the noodle's elasticity and firmness after cooking. It's pure culinary magic. By the way, outside of Asia, instant ramen is one of the most popular ready-to-eat foods in the world, especially among students and travelers. The ingredient delivery process is typically automated. Flour, water, salt, and kansui are fed into the mixer from large containers through specialized dispensing systems. This setup allows for precise control over the proportions of each ingredient in every batch of dough. Sensors are commonly used to measure the exact quantities, and once everything is loaded, the machine automatically starts the mixing process. I was amazed at how powerful the mixing blades are in these machines. These blades ensure intense and uniform mixing of the dough to prevent lumps and achieve the ideal texture. They move in different directions and at varying speeds, which helps to evenly hydrate the dough and enhance its elasticity, especially with the addition of kansui, which gives the noodles their distinct structure. The first instant ramen was invented in Japan in 1958, and at the time, it was considered a luxury item rather than a quick meal option. After mixing, the dough is automatically transferred to the resting section, a crucial step where the gluten develops to the desired level, giving the dough a uniform texture. The resting machine is equipped with several layers of conveyor belts stacked one above the other. The dough is placed on the top conveyor, which moves slowly, allowing the dough to rest while gradually advancing. The conveyors operate at a slow pace to provide the dough with the necessary resting time. As the dough travels through all the levels of the machine, it rests for 10 to 30 minutes, depending on the recipe and the type of noodle being produced. This resting period allows the gluten to stabilize, making the dough more elastic, resilient, and better able to hold its shape after cutting. The machine maintains optimal humidity and temperature to prevent the dough from drying out or losing its essential qualities. Some machines are even equipped with specialized steam humidifiers to ensure the dough stays properly hydrated throughout the process. Once the dough has completed its resting phase, it is automatically fed out of the machine and into the rolling section for noodle shaping. The dough enters a machine equipped with a series of rolling rollers. These rollers gradually reduce the dough's thickness with each pass until it becomes thin, typically less than an inch thick. Each pair of rollers rotates at a specific speed to ensure uniform thickness without overstretching the dough. Modern factories, thanks to automation, can produce up to 1 million servings of instant ramen per day, making the process both highly efficient and consistent. Once the dough reaches the desired thickness, it moves on to the cutting stage. The machine is equipped with a set of sharp blades that slice the dough into strips of a specific width. The width varies depending on the type of noodle, ranging from thin to wide. These freshly cut strips automatically form long noodles, ready for the next step in the process. What fascinated me the most was how they make the ramen wavy. I finally saw that the shaping machines are equipped with special vibrating mechanisms or profiled rollers. During the cutting process, these mechanisms vibrate, causing the noodles to curl into small waves. Amazing, right? The entire machine vibrates, and the noodles naturally take on that classic wavy shape. Truly incredible. Wavy noodles not only hold their shape better in packaging, but also absorb broth more quickly once hot water is added. It's a beautiful process. It's no wonder Japan has museums dedicated to the history of instant ramen, where visitors can learn about its evolution and even create their own unique serving. In the final stage, the shaping machine divides the noodles into individual portions. Special blades cut the noodle strips to a specific length, ensuring they fit neatly into the packaging. The portioned and shaped noodle blocks are then sent onto a conveyor belt for the next step, either pre-cooking or drying. This automated process helps maintain the integrity and uniformity of each portion. Defect control at this stage is also fully automated. I was fascinated to learn that the machines are equipped with sensors and computer systems to monitor quality, ensuring consistent thickness, width, and length of each noodle strip, while also detecting potential defects. Next, the noodles need to be cooked, and I was amazed to see how they are passed through powerful steamers, where they are cooked for several minutes. This step is crucial for preserving the texture and flavor. After cooking, the noodles are fried in hot oil. Special machines equipped with high-temperature vats ensure even frying. This method gives the noodles their crispiness and makes them suitable for quick preparation. Now I know that there are more diet-friendly types of ramen, and the difference lies in this stage of production. To avoid adding oil, some noodles are dried using hot air instead. Specialized drying chambers circulate hot air to evaporate moisture. After drying, the noodles are ready for packaging. In instant ramen production, fully automated packaging lines are used. Personally, this is one of my favorite stages to watch during factory tours, aside from the tasting, of course. The machines cut or shape the noodles into compact blocks that fit neatly into the packaging. Each noodle block is placed in a waterproof bag or container. At the same time, packets of seasonings and flavorings are added to enhance the taste when prepared. Naturally, every package includes a small packet of concentrated spices and broth, either in powder or paste form. These may contain soy sauce, meat broth, dried vegetables, and various spices. This ensures that instant ramen has a rich, flavorful taste once water is added. Every stage of instant ramen production undergoes quality control to ensure a safe and consistent product. This process includes checking the quality of the noodles, moisture levels, and the weight of each block. Specialized detectors also scan for the presence of any foreign objects in the finished products. Once packaged, the instant ramen packs are placed into boxes and sent to storage facilities. The product has a long shelf life, thanks to the dried or fried noodles and airtight packaging. Storage conditions must maintain low humidity and a stable temperature to preserve product quality. In the United States, instant ramen is incredibly popular. Every year, approximately 4 to 5 billion portions are consumed, placing the US in the top 10 countries by consumption volume. While the per capita consumption is much lower than in countries like South Korea, Japan, or China, Americans still enjoy this product for its convenience, quick preparation, and affordability. If you were to stretch the noodles from a single packet into one continuous line, it would measure about 3 yards. And I haven't been able to stop thinking about that for days. Guess what I'll be doing today? As for an invitation to eat ramen in Asian countries, it's their equivalent of asking someone to Netflix and chill after a date.